Joining me now with reaction is Ed Mullins, NYPD Sergeant and President of New York City's Sergeants Benevolent Association, and Mark Fuhrman, Fox News contributor and former LAPD detective. Good to have you both on tonight. Ed, you just heard the angle. You've spoken with police in the precinct who have direct knowledge of what's going on. Now, what was going through the officers' heads when this was all happening?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just saying, what was going through their heads when this was happening?
What it was going through their heads is the Pantaleo effect. We've had, a police commissioner and an NYPD department several years ago send officers to enforce a minor crime, loose cigarettes. About 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we had a sergeant involved in a shooting where he shot a 66-year-old woman who swung at his head with a baseball bat. Police Commissioner O'Neill came out and condemned that right away. We've seen Pantaleo for the last 5 years not get any support from the department. So the officers that are out there on patrol now, the officers that have the water being thrown on them, are indecisive in the sense of what they should do and will they have the backing of the NYPD. Had they go to make an arrest and this individual or any of the individuals fell and cracked their head, we'd hear the media and we'd hear other people out in the public saying these were minor crimes. And all of a sudden, everything would turn against these officers. There is no leadership in the NYPD. This has been a problem. We've had 3 cops assassinated, several cops killed. We have numerous cops shot. There is absolutely no leadership in the NYPD and none coming from City Hall. And I'm asking Police Commissioner O'Neill, with empathy in my heart, that you have lost the confidence of the NYPD members and to please resign. If in the interest of public safety, in the interest of the safety of the officers, it's time for you to move on. And if you choose to not resign, I'm asking Mayor de Blasio to make one good decision in your mayoral term and to remove this police commissioner. He has to go. He has lost the confidence of the NYPD.
All right, let's go to Mark Fuhrman. Mark, I'm going to hold my breath about de Blasio doing the right thing. I mean, if anything, he'll condemn the police for not giving the people who are laughing like a soft drink or something. So I don't know. He's not going to do anything. But Mark, you take issue with the fact that at the moment, at that time, the police didn't do anything. But aren't they damned if they do and they're damned if they don't in this situation?
Well, if you actually feel that way, you need a new job. There's never been a time when politicians or chiefs or captains or even lieutenants are going to be at a scene and actually agree with what actually needs to be done. They usually hesitate. The perfect example is any demonstration. We watch it in Portland, we watch it in New York, we watch it in Los Angeles. Times are changing because they're hesitating to engage. These 2 officers looked ridiculous in what they did. They should have, as soon as they were assaulted, they have that suspect in the car. They should have put out an assistance call. They should have turned and actually engaged the suspect. If they get into an altercation, that's fine. If they have to use their taser, that's fine. If they have to use force other than that, that's fine, because the next officer that goes in that neighborhood, maybe he'll get a bucket of paint, maybe a bucket of bleach, maybe even some acid. This is a job that is tough. And if you're not willing to engage, this wasn't a decision by somebody in an ivory tower. This wasn't a captain's decision or a police commissioner. This was the 2 officers on the street. They were in charge of this situation, and they did nothing.
Yeah, it's got to be incredibly demoralizing for police officers. And I know, talking to a number of them over the last 24 hours, since we were the first to put this video on national TV, they are infuriated across a number of different issues. Now, late tonight, NYPD released pictures of 3 of the suspects in these water attacks. Also, NYPD is notifying officers about the charges that can be brought against these thugs. So it's exactly what former NYPD Commissioner Bernie Kerik told us last night. Watch.
Obstruction, disorderly conduct, harassment, and a number of other charges, but they won't be charged because you have a mayor in New York City that won't allow it.
He's a disgrace. Ed, what chance do they have of actually catching and charging these guys? And do you agree with Mark Fuhrman's analysis that as tough as this job is, if the officers don't want to engage on the scene, they should no longer be police officers, go into a different line of work? God bless them.
Well, I think there's partial truth to what Mark is explaining, but Mark comes from a different time period when policing was supported and there was no cameras that were being stuck in everybody's faces. And, you know, when I highlight the Pantaleo effect, that chiefs ordered these officers to go out and enforce minor crimes of loose cigarettes, where is the backing for the people who do that? So it's easy for us to say what officers should do, but we're not the ones that are there when this happens, and we're not the officers who are getting indicted because of, you know, public outcry over nonsense. So it's very easy to be opinionated from one side of a fence, but Mark and I both come from different time periods, and I'm still there, and I see what's occurring in policing today.
Mark, response.
Well, I mean, that's all well and good, but I can remember many times that I wasn't supported by the chief of police and on down, because we actually engaged multiple people that were trying to assault us, rocks, bottles, gunshots, but we still engaged. We called for assistance, and yes, it got ugly, but you didn't lose your ground and you didn't walk away with your tail between your legs. If you're going to do that, just give up the streets. What, the next time somebody threatens you?
The NYPD under O'Neill, we're now promoting videos of basically dancing bears and karaoke singing contests out there. We've gone from enforcement, we've gone from a paramilitary organization to a feel-good, and we've spent energy and millions of dollars on creating a feel-good to the point where officers are getting indicted for nonsense, and they're not getting the backing in the NYPD.
Now,
O'Neill has to go.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I want to put this full screen up for everyone in the country to see. Now, look at what this current atmosphere has done to recruitment of police officers. Check it out. NYPD recruitment. It's down, down, down. Okay, it's only at 330 people as of April 2019. Look at where it was back in July of 2017, 524. January 2018, they did pretty well, but doesn't look so good right now. Mark, what's next for recruitment? They can't hire police officers in places like New Orleans last time I checked. Other places across the country, same thing.
Well, there's certain places that the law enforcement should be at the highest standards. It should be Los Angeles, it should be New York, it should be a few other cities. But the actual, the heart of the matter is leadership. And if you don't have a good leader, it doesn't matter what people in the community think law enforcement should be. A good leader will give them the law enforcement that they need. And if you're going to engage with bad actors on the street, you need to engage. If you don't, we're not going to worry about an officer getting indicted. Somebody's going to get killed. Suspects are going to get killed, and officers are going to get killed. This is just one step. The next one will be more than water, because they got away with it.
And the disrespect of the police and for each other, I mean, it is all ridiculous at this point. Gentlemen, fantastic conversation. No one else having this on television tonight. Thank you so much.